Ever wonder what happens to your money literally 2 days after being paid? Aren't you tired of being broke immediately after payday and having to struggle through the rest of the month? Well, in today's video, I'm going to talk about habits that we can use to actually break the cycle of being broke immediately after payday. But before we tune into today's video, I want to ask you guys to please take your time to actually subscribe to my channel. I realize that a lot of people who are tuned into this channel are people who are not subscribed, and it would mean a huge deal to me if you guys would take your time and hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much, and let's get right into today's video. So today's topic is money habits that are keeping you broke. So I used to struggle with three things, right? The first thing I would struggle with is keeping my money literally after getting paid. So what would happen with me is literally the same day after getting paid, I'd start spending my salary, and you know what that leads to. That leads to impulsive buying, and that leads to you actually making bad decisions. And that I would do because I never really had a budget plan, and I never really believed in saving my money. I thought that I have to earn like tens and thousands of rands, like going upwards, in order for me to actually start saving money. But I never actually understood that it's the smallest cents that actually do count, you know? So for the longest time, I would buy impulsively. I would spend impulsively, and my biggest spending venture is food. Ooh, guys, I love takeaways. Like, I would spend most of my money on takeaways before I actually sat down and did my budget plan, because I believed that I deserved it. Yes, I do deserve it, but I deserve a much healthier month, and I deserve a much healthier spending venture, unlike an unhealthy spending spree. So I sat down with myself and I actually looked at this, and I was like, you know what, I need to look deeper and look at the habits that are currently affecting me right now, and look at the things that are affecting me right now that are making me not actually spend my salary the way I'm supposed to spend it. Because a week within, I would be broke and I'd only be left with transport money. Thank God I'd still be left with transport money, because I know some people go as far as eating their transport money. And so yes, so I sat down with myself and I had a small talk with myself, because I was tired. One thing about me, I do not like not being able to afford the things that I want to, and I don't like not being able to do the important things first in the month. So I would rather be broke, or I would rather be broke throughout the rest of the month, knowing very well that I put something in my savings, I bought all the groceries that I want, I put aside my transport money, and I've done all the important things that I need to do. And the change that is left is change literally that is left to just how do I say this in English? To gutter the smash. But yes, that would literally be the money that would be left. The money that is just, you know, checking out if there's any waiting for any damage that is to happen during the month. I think I said it right. So these are the 5 habits that I picked up along the way, and I realized that these are the things that I used to do. And maybe if I can share them with you guys, then you guys will also realize that maybe these are the things that you used to do, and try and break that cycle from there going. So these are just 5 points, and we're going to get into the first point, okay? So the first point that we're going to get into is living beyond your means. I have highlighted this before in my previous videos, and I will put the link down below. And I'm going to speak about it again today, because you guys don't listen. You guys just don't listen. You take what I say with a pinch of salt, and you're just gonna, and in your head you're like, okay, cool, I'm gonna practice this, but you come again and you don't practice it. Guys, living beyond your means will never make you happy. It will never make you happy. And by living beyond your means, what I mean is buying a phone, for example, that you can't afford, buying clothes that you cannot afford to buy cash, buying things that you cannot afford to buy cash that will actually require you to buy them on credit. And to think about it, you actually don't need these things. Most of these things that you are buying impulsively, you really just do not need them at all. So you end up living beyond your means, and you end up living and spending beyond what you're actually supposed to spend. How do we break that? You need to learn to appreciate what you have at the moment, live below your means, and flex in private. There is no reward in flexing in public. Yes, we are going to admire you. Yes, we will think you're pretty. Yes, we're gonna want the things that you have. But is it worth it if you're really suffering in silence? No, I don't think it's worth it. So we need to look into doing that, guys. Live below your means and actually flex in private. All right, and the second point that we're gonna get into, I've also spoken about this in my previous video. Again, like I said before, I'm gonna put the link down below for you guys to actually go back for reference. And that is not budgeting or not having an expense. Not tracking your expenses. Guys, budgeting is very important, and I understand that most of us do not know how to budget. So as time goes on, we will find a way to actually help each other to learn how to budget. But for now, I just want us to look into budgeting and actually tracking your expenses. If you do not budget before you get paid, not on the day you get paid or after you get paid, you need to do your budget plan and track your expenses for the previous month before you actually get paid. Why? Because by the time you get paid, you know exactly where your money is going before you actually start spending it on unnecessary places. Do your budget plan before and track your expenses before you get paid. That will save you a whole lot of time. It will save you a whole lot of energy, and you will save yourself as well from a whole lot of things, because you will be able to do the right things first before you actually go into impulsive spending. So I used to struggle with that for the longest time. I never understood the purpose of budgeting, like I said, especially for people who don't earn as much. Yeah, we tend to think budgeting is non-essential to us, and budgeting is for people who have larger expenses. But that is not how it is. You can budget with the little that you actually have, because that is your money at the end of the day, and you are the one who is responsible for how you spend it. And best believe you do not want to be broke in the middle of the month. So budgeting and tracking your expenses is one of the things that can actually save you from being broke. Different ways in which you can actually track your expenses and actually do a budget plan. There's apps on your phone, and there's you can use Google spreadsheets as well. But if you're not a digital person like me, you can actually go for the old way, which is using a book. I prefer using my notebook. My notebook is my life. I draft my budget plans on my notebook, and my expenses, do them on my notebook, and my grocery lists, I sometimes do them on my notebook, but I forget the notebook when it comes to grocery list. So I actually do the grocery list on my phone, but that's not important. What I'm trying to say is there's different ways in which you can do your budget plans and your expense tracks. You can try the apps, you can try the spreadsheets, you can try books. It's all up to you. It all depends on what you prefer and what you want. And best believe you will find a method that will actually work for you, just as long as you are comfortable, and just as long as you do it in a way that you are comfortable with. You do not have to copy my budgeting strategy. You can have your own, just as long as you actually allocate your money where it is supposed to go every single month. So the third point that we're going to get into, and I think this is something that most of us actually struggle with. I was also struggling with it, and I think that most of you guys will actually agree with me when I say this, and that is impulsive buying. Yeah, guys, impulsive buying is a lot. Like, it's a lot. It's a habit that a lot of people have, and yes, you're not alone, but you can literally overcome it, okay? And for those who do not understand what I mean by impulsive buying, that is literally buying based on your emotions and buying things based on how you are currently feeling and without thinking it through. Okay, so I'm gonna walk you guys slowly through the whole impulsive buying process and hopefully get you guys out of that whole impulsive buying process, because it's a very easy habit to adopt, and again, it's an easy habit to leave. Like, it's not as complicated as most habits. Like, impulsive buying is something that it starts within. As long as you can control how you literally feel at that moment, you can literally stop or reduce or limit your impulsive buying. So let's start by highlighting what is impulsive buying. Impulsive buying is buying things, like I said, based on how you're feeling or based on your emotions, and whether it is trending, whether it is on sale. But come to think of it, you actually do not need the item that you're currently buying. And a perfect example of these are clothing sales and food sales. I'm gonna wait a bit with the clothing sales, and I'm gonna go to the food sales. So what I usually do every single month is that I write my grocery lists, right? And on that list, I will write the quantity of the amount of things that I want. I write it based on what I know I need, and I know that this will last us maybe more than a month, going to 2 months, okay? Then I walk into a shop, right? And here they are with these massive sales of theirs. Those buy 2 for 100 rand, or buy 3 and save on 2. You know those sales that I'm talking about. And I feel like those are the sales that actually lead you to impulsive buying, because you end up buying so many of those quantities of things. I mean, so many quantities of items, of things that you actually do not need. And come to think of it, it wasn't on your grocery list, it wasn't part of your plans, right? That is a perfect example of impulsive buying. And then another example we can look at is the clothing sales, going into shops and actually just shopping on sales, thinking that you buying on sale items thinking that you buying items that are on sale is actually you saving. And because it is not on your budget plan, and you actually don't need that item at that moment, it does fall under impulsive buying. So impulsive buying it's everywhere. We do it every time, and it's something that we can all control. What can we do to actually limit impulsive buying? What I do is I apply the 24-hour rule. So the 24-hour rule, that is where you actually wait literally 24 hours, or you wait until the next day before you actually get the item, right? But while you are waiting, while you are still deciding on getting the item, ask yourself these 3 questions. First question is, do I really need this? Do you really need the item that you want to purchase? Is it going to save your life? Is it going to make your life easier? Or will you be able to live without it? And if you feel that you do not need it, that is your first no. You move on to the second question. Can you afford this item without buying it on credit? And if your answer is no, then you move on to the third question. Does it align with your financial goals? And if all of those 3 are no, or if one of those 3 is no, then you really don't need the item. Honestly, guys, if you can live the next day without that item, then I'm pretty sure you can go a couple of more months and a couple more years without that. So just think about those 3 questions while you are waiting that 24-hour period before you actually purchase that item. So why this actually works, why analyzing or waiting 24 hours or applying the 24-hour rule actually works, is because it gives you time to actually analyze your emotions. Because most of us are emotional buyers, so if you actually take time to think about it, you will be limiting the emotional side of buying that item. So you'll be able to think on a level-headed and be level-headed when actually purchasing the item. It helps you separate the difference between your needs and your wants. It helps you save money on items that you actually do not need. So guys, it's just as simple as that. There are benefits to applying the 24-hour rule. It's just up to you as a person to actually think about it, if you really do want that item or not. And I always tell myself that if I can live without it, and if I can see the next day without it, then I really do not need it. And if I've been living all along without that thing, then what difference is it going to make in my life right now? Especially if I can't afford it. But if you can afford it, then kudos. Go for it. But if you can't afford it, then do not break your budget, and do not break your literally do not break your budget on things that you cannot afford at the moment. The fourth point that we're going to talk about is relying on credit to actually fund your lifestyle. So in my previous video, I spoke about credit cards, liabilities, and actually making credit work for you. Credit is good, credit can be good, but that only depends on how you as a person prefer to use it, right? So what I mean by using credit to fund your lifestyle, I think that's basic, self-explanatory, but that is you actually buying things on credit so that you can look pretty. Buying things on credit that you do not need at the moment so that you can temporarily feel that high or temporarily feel that happiness. And that can also include food. Guys, I realized that lately there's these pay now, buy later, pay now apps. I'm not really so familiar with them because I run away from those things, because I don't think that they are good for you at all. So I realized that people can actually buy groceries now using those buy now and pay later apps. But my question is, why are you buying groceries on credit? Like, why are you buying it on credit? Like, why are they even allowing you guys to buy groceries on credit? It really doesn't make sense, guys. So credit is good if you use it the right way, and if you use it in a way that is gonna benefit you and grow later on. But avoid using credit for debts that will not take you anywhere, and debts that will actually just ruin your credit score. So the fifth point and the last point that we're going to talk about, I never really understood this for the longest time until I took this short course on financial literacy, and that is not paying yourself first. What I thought about every time someone say you need to pay yourself first, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. I really hope I'm not the only one, or else I'm going to feel stupid. But I used to think that meant literally giving myself money first to go spend on whatever I want. And I never understood the concept behind paying yourself first. So paying yourself first means before you actually use your salary on anything else, take a certain percentage of that salary, put it in your savings, put it in your emergency fund, or put it in your investment account. Why? Because that is literally you paying your future self, and that is you paying yourself. Later on in life, you are going to thank yourself for that money that you have been putting aside. So I never understood it like that. I literally used to take money every time, and that would be my percentage that I would spend on takeaways, or I would spend on buying myself nice clothes and stuff like that. And then what I would do is, after spending all of those monies, then I'd look into putting money into my savings account. But that's not how it actually works. So the whole concept behind paying yourself first involves taking a certain percentage of your salary and just putting it in your savings and putting it in your emergency funds and putting it away for a rainy day. But do that first before you actually do anything else, and do not leave it for last, because if you do leave it for last, you end up not saving anything at all. So we have to normalize paying ourselves first, and not literally paying yourself first, but paying your savings account first before you actually go anywhere else with your salary. So those are the 5 points that I just wanted to highlight with you guys today. Nothing much, but what I want to leave for you guys is that we need to develop a mindset that is positive towards money. Money is not your enemy. Money is actually a good thing, guys. Money is not as evil as they make it to be. All you have to do is actually fix your bad relationship that you have with money, guys. And until you actually heal your relationship with money, you will never really understand it, and you will never really be able to get around it. So this starts by starting these small little habits, and these small little habits will take you very, very, very far. I mean, so many of our billionaires today will also tell you that it's the small habits that matters, guys. It's the small things that count. And if you start small, you will actually go far. It's better to start small than to not start at all. So thank you so much, guys, for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do drop your comments down below. Tell me which habits I mentioned that you actually do resonate with, and if you actually have more to add on to, please let me know in the comment section below. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, do not forget to like, and do not forget to share this video so that we can grow our little community. Thank you so much, guys. Have a lovely day. Bye.